So when we, if a picture says 1,000 words, when we hold this picture up, right? When we hold this picture up, it's clear that Haile Selassie wore a fez. Not only did he wear a fez, but it was gold. And not only did he wear a gold fez, all the lineage of emperors before him wore a gold fez. Right? If we're talking about symbology and symbols, right? They're gonna make claims about stolen legacy. Make claims about stolen legacy, about why aren't we deciphering hieroglyphics or whatever. We should be deciphering hieroglyphics. If the Moors are the custodians of Egyptian culture. Now let's see what Moors are really the custodians of according to the book, not somebody's personal opinion, in order to get views or whatever. During the Persian, Greek, and Roman invasions, large numbers of Egyptians fled not only to the desert and mountain regions, but also to adjacent lands in Africa, Arabia, Asia Minor, where they lived and secretly developed the teachings which belonged to their mystery system. In the 8th century AD, the Moors, i.e. natives of Mauritania in North Africa, invaded Spain and took with them the Egyptian culture which they had preserved. Knowledge in the ancient days was centralized. It belonged to a common parent and system, i.e. the wisdom teachings or mysteries of Egypt, which the Greeks used to call Sophia. As such, the people of North Africa were neighbors of the Egyptians and became the custodians of Egyptian culture, which they spread through considerable portions of Africa, Asia Minor, and Europe. During their occupation of Spain, the Moors displayed with considerable credit the grandeur of African culture and civilization. Right? Of African culture and not Egyptian culture and civilization. So by the time the Moors got to Spain, they weren't just custodians of Egyptian culture only. They were custodians of all the cultures that were before them, that were Asiatic. And they were the ones that took that information and spread it throughout the world so everybody could be in the light of having knowledge. So there's no need to know how to decipher hieroglyphics if somebody already deciphered it and put out books on it and it's accessible to anybody. You don't need to, that doesn't need to be the subject matter that we are expressing to the people, because somebody already did that. We don't need somebody to teach some more to come teach Arabic or whatever like that, because people already do that. Ain't nothing for us to do, right? Our position is that we need to clean house, because when people say Moors and Islam, and why are Moors teaching Islam if they are the custodians of Egyptian culture? Well, Islam is I, self, law, and master. Period. Ain't nothing after that as far as we're concerned as Moors. Islam is I, self, law, and master. So somebody asked the question with well, you know, we'll go there later, but they were asking the question, well, do Moors partake in Ramadan? They want, but it's not no obligation of Moors to, you know, partake in that, because I, self, law, and master, you're already on spiritual enlightenment. The purpose of Ramadan is to get you to spiritual enlightenment. So if a Moor is saying that they're going to partake in Ramadan, clearly they're not spiritually enlightened, and maybe they need that. But if this is your Islam, I, self, law, and master, then you're already master. No different than when we say go take the Hajj, and then all the minions are running around, and all the imams or whoever, you know, they're over somewhere drinking tea. They're not running around no goddamn stuff, kissing stones and stuff like that. For what? They're master. No need for them to partake in the semi-spiritual practices that people have adopted as, you know, what things are. You know what I mean? Like they never heard of I Self-Law Master, so they discredit that, and then tie Morris to praying and, you know what I mean, 500 times a day prayers and all that stuff. It's not that serious as far as we're concerned, because again, we're the custodians of all the cultures. So being that we're the custodians of all the cultures, we know what all of them are about. We know what is supposed to be done as far as these practices, and we choose to do them if we want to or not, but it's not anything mandatory for us, right? Battle of Adwa, Italy versus Ethiopia, right? So he was talking about drawings where they have the Ethiopian side, and then they have the Italian side, and then the Italian side has drawings of individuals with fezzes fighting the Ethiopians for the Italians. Same thing that they tried to do with King Leopold and Congo and all that stuff. And say that all of a sudden now, prior to this, right? This is Negro, Black, colored people scholarship, right? Battle of Adwa, King Leopold and all that stuff, whatever like that. All of a sudden now, they know that fezzes stand for Moors. All of a sudden there's some evil going down, and there's some people in fezzes, and now they know who Moors are all of a sudden. They could point them out in pictures.
Thought we didn't exist.
Before it didn't even matter. Now that there's some evil stuff going on that they can tie to the Moors, and this is how you know that they're working for the establishment. Because if you have a nationality, and Moors could vouch, if you have a nationality and you talk to anybody who's a nation of anywhere in the world, they'll willingly, openly, lovingly tell you how important the Fez is to them in their culture. And they don't have anything negative to say about the Fez. Zero. Like they have nothing at all negative to say. Every single thing that they come and they tell you, when you put your Fez on, you go out in the street and you engage people, or people engage you, first thing they recognize is, where'd you get that Fez? How do you get a Fez? Where can I get one? Let me try it on. Let me see that, whatever like that. They're not talking about get the hell out of here with that, and you guys are the guys in the Congo, and you guys are the guys in Battle of Adwa that were doing anything, right? And when they classify, so they know that there were these individuals that were working with the Europeans in order to colonize the continent, right? They know this. We know this, right? We also know that those people who had the fezzes on, that were working with the Europeans, were from that African nation that these people are trying to conquer. They weren't Moors per se, like how they talk. They were some nationality from the continent that was in some type of tribal war with their own brothers. And in order to get out of the tribal war, they sided with the European, because the European's going to give them guns, whatever like that, blah, 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 so they can take and they can go kill their own brothers or whatever after they finish the fight with the European. Right? When they classify your fez as a red hat or a hat, know that they know it's a fez. And they're choosing to do this. Just like people who say, instead of fez, they say feds. To imply the same thing that, you know, the guys who wear these work with the government or whatever like that, right? The guys who wear these are siding with foreigners in order to colonize this and that. But when we look at the treaty or treaties that involve the individuals that wear these, we realize that in all the treaties that they're part of, they were the ones in superior power. They were under subjugation, and the European was making a treaty with them because they were out of power or whatever like that. They were making treaties because Europeans knew who the founders of civilization are, and if you're going to make a treaty, who else are you going to go to? Who else are you going to go to get recognized as a nation? Whether corporate, de facto, pseudo, whatever like that, doesn't matter. Europeans even knew that, well, if we're going to be a nation, and we're not going to claim that we're European or whatever like that, we want to start our own government, we want to do our own thing because kings are abusing us, queens are abusing us, all these people are abusing us. Who are we going to go to make sure, to be the first people to recognize who we are as this quote-unquote nation? They go to the Moors. You talk to people in Philippines, Cambodia, Asian countries, all those people, their God looks like us. You go to Europeans will tell you, yeah, the Moors came in here and they cleaned us up and gave us street lights and sidewalks and air conditioning and all these things, fridges and things that we never even heard of, never even fathomed we got from the Moors. Not the Africans, not the dark-skinned people, not the black guys, not the ancient Egyptians, not whatever, the Moors. Everybody knows. And it's a sign to let us know how far away our people are from getting back to where they're supposed to be. They are so far off where they're supposed to be that maybe they need some concentration camps and maybe they need certain treatment in order to shake them out of this sleep that they're under. Maybe it needs to happen more often. Maybe that's why when we go through the story or the oral statements, and Noble Drew Ali talks about the Europeans went to a Moroccan chief, and the Moroccan chief told them to take those Moors over there if you want some slaves, because they're not going to do anything. Same thing that we're going through right now. These Moors that don't do anything, all they do is talk. They talk about kill crackers or whatever like that, never killed a cracker yet. They talk about bang on the beast or whatever like that, like brother Mario L.B. told him, you're not banging on shit. Don't even try to pretend like you guys are banging on something. You're not banging on nothing. Because if you're banging on something, you'll be getting down with the Moors so that we can put all our collective energy together and end this system of so-called white supremacy tomorrow. Because everybody would be on the same wavelength. Everybody would be on the same plane. And they know that that's what they have to do, because they've been told. And they choose otherwise. Right? Don't forget, we got to do our little 15-minute freaking pauses and stuff.